Hey everyone, it seems extremely likely that The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt will be getting a DLC tie-in connected to The Witcher 4 at some point later this year. Now, I previously talked about how The Witcher 3 will be getting console mod support here. It was originally slated for 2025, but it did get pushed back to 2026, and I do think that these things are connected here. So, as you also may know, The Witcher remake is currently in development by Fool's Theory, and this is a team of CD Projekt RED developers that are working on this with close supervision with the Witcher team. I do have a really strong feeling that not only are they also working on the Witcher remake, which isn't likely to come out anytime here soon, but they're potentially also working on the potential DLC for The Witcher 3 that we'll likely be getting at some point this year. Now, it may be absolutely nothing, but there's some very strong signs pushing towards how this is not just like any other rumor. And the fact that CD Projekt RED, who is normally quick to shut down any type of rumors regarding this, has not really said anything about it. In fact, IGN Poland was reporting earlier that they've actually known about this for quite a while, and this is something that people have been talking about a bit in the industry for actually quite some time now. They're saying it could be in a standalone game in a style of Miles Morales. I don't think that's the case. And I think it'll be somewhat similar to maybe the Hearts of Stone DLC or expansion that we got in the past, and a separate area. So that's exactly what we'll be talking about in this video. This summer is really when things started to heat up, as this podcast episode here by Rock and Boris, a Polish podcast group, has talked a bit about this back in June of this last year, which was right around the time of all this started to get happening with the Witcher official website here talking about their console mod support, which I did do a few videos on in the past if you want to see those for a bit more in-depth look, but I was theorizing that they would potentially be dropping something related to The Witcher 4, as if you know CD Projekt RED, you know they put out a fantastic expansion. I think they actually have some of the best in the business with CD Projekt RED of releasing the Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk 2077, fixing a lot of the problems. I think that this is going to be all coming together for the 10th anniversary, and I guess it's 11th anniversary when this will potentially drop, as some people are saying this is potential to drop in May of 2026. The mod support will be on mod.io, and if you follow me for my Baldur's Gate 3 videos, you'll know that's where a lot of the in-game mods are for that game, as well as if you play Blade and Sorcerer or any of the other VR games, that's highly popular for them. And console mods have been extremely popular for Baldur's Gate 3, so I can imagine similar success here, and a great way to hype them up and get people interested again in The Witcher, as it's been quite some time since some people may have played this game, as it's come out over 10 years ago. Now, this is also following up on the Witcher remake announcement that came out in October of last year, or a few years back actually, which will be made by Fool's Theory again, which is a team of CD Projekt RED employees, and they're also getting oversight by them and getting full creative supervision. I'm not sure if you've seen the technical presentation for the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo for The Witcher 4. It's on the Witcher YouTube page. I'll have that linked in the description here. But we do get a bit of insight into what's going to be happening in the game, as well with the trailer that released last year. But I am actually blown away by how good this game looks, and my theories for what I think will be this DLC for Witcher 3 to tie into here. I'll follow that in just a moment. As we see here, this is what is going to be the plot of The Witcher 4, so I'm very excited for that, and all the questions and answers we'll get within that game. And jumping back to IGN Poland's report back a while ago, they said that it will potentially be like a Dune-style expansion in the Zerrikania region, which to me, I think it'll end up being somewhere in the Korath Desert, which in the game's lore, Ciri did go here in the past, so this could be a very great explanation for why maybe she's pursuing the Witcher lifestyle. And we'll potentially get some more lore explanations for the School of the Manticore. If you want to read a little bit more about these, I will have the links to the Witcher wiki here linked in the description. Now, Zerrikania is known for having warrior women there and dragon cults, with also some exotic beasts. Now, we need an explanation for why Ciri is going to undertake the Witcher trials, and maybe there will be an explanation somewhere in this DLC, or they may leave that for like the intro to The Witcher 4, but I do think we will get some actual gameplay playing a Ciri in The Witcher 3 here, as you can play her obviously in this game, and potentially like some form of way switching between Geralt and her pretty freely. I think it'd be a good way to tie things into maybe exploring a new region together and honoring the legacy. I do feel we'll get the vibe of maybe Ciri undergoing the Witcher trials as a form of not running from Destiny anymore, but we also got to have some explanations for why there's going to be a need for that, and I think that's what this DLC will end up exploring as we proceed into The Witcher 4. Now, there's also potential new schools that'll be popping up as well as we maybe explore some new areas. Maybe there's new types of enemies and beasts that will be coming out, and that's why she needs to be able to keep up with them. Obviously, she does have very strong powers, so that will have to be explained as well. But perhaps Ciri just wants to get rid of all of that and become just a Witcher to be less of a political item. But yeah, I think that this DLC will end up giving us a bit more intake into what other areas of the Witcher world look like, with obviously the game lore having a bit of a difference from between the books. But these are places that Ciri has been in the past when we look at the game's lore. Now, I must say, The Witcher 3's modding community is still quite lively. Like, there's a ton of great stuff releasing all the time. So I don't doubt that with the release of the Red Kit as well, making it easier for people to make mods. I've also made mods for Baldur's Gate 3 in the past. I'm looking at potentially doing something for Witcher 3 as I'm a big fan of this game, and it'd be nice to be able to create within this world as they're open to all that kind of stuff. But I also want to talk about a bit of mods that I think I previously talked about, some that will be coming potentially to console, but having an in-game mod manager opens up so many different ways for people to enjoy the game, which I think is extremely important. Now, one of my favorite new mods is actually this one here, Bubsy's E3 2014 Geralt Next Gen by Old Flip Gamer, which you may have noticed that I've had on this mod. It still looks like Geralt. There's a lot of other ones here that are kind of funny, which we'll get to, but yeah, this retains the Geralt's appearance here. We also have the cloaks on here because there's so many mods for different types of cloaks, as he obviously wore one in his E3 trailer, so it's nice to actually have mods that'll give him it. So these are two that I definitely think we'll see. But there's also other ones here like Hugin 000's Henry Cavill White Monster. So yeah, you can make yourself look like the character from the TV show. I get the Uncanny Valley vibe because obviously you can recognize the face. So yeah, this is not one that I end up using. Change the body type as well. But I mean, there's some people that may be interested in this. I should correct myself, it's the White Wolf. There are also a ton of, as I mentioned, Geralt cloak mods is the next show one here by Lewis Elementary, which you can give yourself a cloak. And there's a variety of different ones that I do enjoy here. I also like just using this cloak here, as I think this one fits well within what Geralt would wear. So yeah, there's so many mods like this, and it's kind of weird there wasn't a thing in the base game itself, but yeah, I gotta say, it looks awesome. And this is actually from the Hoods mod, the one that I was just showing off there. It's the one I had at the start of the video. I think these look awesome, and you can purchase them from the in-game area. So yeah, you can make Geralt look really cool with these, and there's even a hat here as well. And we'll of course see quality of life mods. I really like this one here by Juniper the God, Galloping in Cities, which you would have saw in some of my other videos where I just rip through the city. I think it's awesome, just great quality of life. There's also a lot of mods like New Clouds here, which will change how the game itself looks. You may have noticed these in the video because this mod is beautiful. Now, the one problem with Witcher mods is that you sometimes have to compile them together, and there's a lot of confliction issues that other video games just don't end up having, and that's something that I'm curious to see how Mod.io is going to handle in their next update for The Witcher 3, but yeah, I do have hope that there'll be some way of making this a little bit easier for people than using like Vortex and the script compiler to pull things all together. But you can see there, the beautiful clouds in the background. It's like such a gorgeous looking game, even though this is like over 10 years old. The combat, while it's kind of, you know, it is what it is, not my favorite part of the game, there's enough things being added to it and the heavy story focus that I think we'll be getting in the new DLC that will potentially, I just want to say is all potential, not guaranteed, but very, very likely to come within 2026. So let me know what you're most excited for, or if you got any theories for what we may see with this potential DLC dropping. I think we'll see something like Hearts of the Stone size, but let me know your thoughts in the comments and hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you all in the next one.